On a dark night in June 1944, while the battles of Normandy were raging, 96 Navy frogmen swam silently toward the western beach of Saipan. It was a very hostile shore they approached. It had thousands of well-supplied and well-prepared Japanese defenders. The Navy had learned from the disastrous landings at Bloody Tarawa that underwater obstacles and coral reefs had to be charted or removed before a landing could be attempted. They also learned that they required a fundamental knowledge of tides and depths. By daybreak they were back on board, but 16 frogmen had been killed or wounded. But the Navy UDT, or Underwater Demolition Teams, and ultimately a group you may have heard of, the Navy SEALs, had been born. They were successful in that none of the terrible mistakes of Tarawa were repeated, but a battle of epic proportions followed. Saipan was the battle where civilians leaped from cliffs in fear of the American monsters, but often only after throwing their children to their deaths to save them from a horrible fate that Japanese leaders had warned them of.
4,300 Japanese lay dead. Saipan was ours. One grisly footnote remained. At the northern tip of the island, the Marines looked on, helpless and horrified, as Japanese civilians threw themselves off the 800-foot cliff known as Marpy Point. Green was there, so was Hansen.
They'd been told that Marines were barbarians, that we'd rape their women and kill their children.
I saw a lot of mothers hold their children by the hand and jump right off.
There's not a damn thing you can say or do. You just stand there with your mouth open.
It was also the site of Japan's last great Banzai charge.
Although unsuited to modern methods of warfare, the Banzai charge shocked and mystified Allied soldiers who were quite unused to such suicidal fanaticism.
The survivors of this raid did, however, report something very strange on the beach. They had found a sign that said, "Kilroy was here." They soon began to leave similar signs to greet future landing troops. Troops found this ubiquitous graffiti on walls, rocks, and even Japanese pillboxes. Impossible? Absolutely. As the noted author Wesley Hall put in his sighting of Kilroy on Peleliu, no American could have done that, and no Jap would do it. Kilroy was the superhero of World War II in Korea. He was always there first, or, if not, was always there when GIs left. Even Hitler considered him a super spy and had orders out to shoot him on sight. But how and why did this crude drawing and scrawled words become the super GI of World War II in Korea, and was such a source of comfort to GIs? We have found out how he started, but why did he start? The Kilroy phenomenon is a manifestation of an absolutely amazing sense of humor. GIs were always able to find something funny to say and do under stress that today we can only imagine. Gremlins and Foo Fighters are more examples of this. Kilroy was a comfort to GIs suffering through a world gone mad around them. No matter how bad it got, no matter what the danger, no matter how exhausted, scared, or just fed up they got, Kilroy had already been there and survived. Finally, Kilroy Was Here was an effort by millions of GIs to be a little rebellious while their whole world was controlled by others. It broke the horrible tension and provided a little fun. Kilroy Was Here persisted in spite of several commands to stamp it out. Certainly several occupied territory commanders issued strict orders that he not be scribbled anywhere and that it be removed wherever it was found. Orders that were always greeted with monumental indifference. He was an outward demonstration of rebellious GIs insisting on some individuality. Kilroy was here was duty. Duty to their country and duty to their buddies. These were not warriors, but simple guys who were caught up in forces far beyond their control. But warriors they became. By 1945, they were the most skilled in the world. But they never thought of themselves as such. They were just guys who wanted to get the job done and go home. Actually, they felt the only way to go home was to get the job done. This was powerful motivation. Griping was taken to an art form, but whining was never heard. Kilroy was here was with every GI on every combat and occupation assignment during World War II in Korea. The phenomenon continues in the Gulf War, Afghanistan, and Iraq today. He has been and is the GI's best friend. Ask any veteran. He will tell you just how much comfort and fun Kilroy is. We are losing the greatest generation now so very fast. It is estimated that 10 to 15,000 pass on every day. Now is the time, while there is still some World War II veterans still alive, that the U.S. Postal Service salute the bravery and resolution of the greatest generation with the stamp. This is the one last and lasting tribute. Please join us in this effort to get a U.S. Postal Service commemorative stamp. Go to KilroyWasHere.org, where about 5 sections down is a large black area with 3 proposed stamps. Click there for an easy and free way to help.